And so it's a bit of a common theme in the things that end up working. And to me, it isn't about more facts and figures and more reports and all that sort of stuff. What is going to help someone make an emotional connection with the issue? And that's where you guys come in, right? That's not going to be me. I mean, I've done my best, like as a writer, as someone who only gets to spend a little bit of my time writing, as you might imagine, I've got lots of things going on, but it felt that important to me to be really honest and write about these things, because I feel that who better to actually lead this social movement than our creatives, honestly. And I really feel that it's an untapped area. So when I actually came across Edwina, it was at the Byron Writers Festival, and I had said something along the lines of, it isn't up to the scientific community anymore. It's up to our musicians, our artists, our teachers, and I just went through and put a call to action out there. And then she came up and we started chatting, and I was really excited to hear about the Environmental Music Prize. I hadn't heard of it before, and it just blew me away, because I feel that music, out of probably all the creative arts, has just such an incredible way of meeting people in that private place of communion that they have with their own reflective thoughts and their engagement with the world. And so I really feel that there's a real opportunity here to come up with really fantastic music that speaks to people in a really different way. And I guess that's sort of, I suppose, where I'm coming from today in terms of thinking about this social movement. What is needed, And another thing that, has come across, Edwina sent my way, was this concept of like a climate anthem. I think it's a really interesting idea. And, music is often a way of, expressing solidarity. And I listened to that podcast you sent over to me, Edwina, and it was talking about the civil rights movement and We Shall Prevail. And that song being this sort of call to action and this rallying call for people. And we don't have anything like that that is responding to the climate change crisis that we're in just yet. And that's because I think that the climate change conversation can sometimes feel really alienating for people who aren't too technically minded. And we're talking about, pretty dry energy policy and science and all that stuff, which is, it's hard and boring many times. And I can say that because I can say that because I know, right? But I think that there's a really different conversation we could be having, which is a cultural conversation, which is saying, what are our shared values as a society, okay? And what are the things that we need to say, these are the things we value collectively that form part of our culture, that hopefully isn't just sport and footy and all that sort of stuff. Let's just open the conversation up collectively to be talking about something else, which is cultural. And that's where I think our creatives can really help, because if you want to stop and think about it, cultural change is basically saying enough people care about an issue to either provide or remove the social license for the continued destruction of our planetary system. And that's where we're at right now. So just to be clear from the scientific perspective, every decision that we've ever made to destroy the natural world has culminated in this moment we find ourselves in right now. And that's why I'm talking about the 2020s being this really pivotal moment that we will look back at.